Hey folks, welcome back to Canada's Boxing Channel. I hope everyone's having a good day. So, after last night's Tank Davis Lamont Roach fight, I recorded a video and I didn't upload it. Because to be honest, I didn't want to come across as a totally negative sort of, angry old man yelling at clouds, which I've included in the thumbnail to this video. I wasn't sure whether or not my perception of what went on yesterday with the Tank Davis fight was so clouded by the Donovan fight. You've probably seen my views on Crocker and Donovan. And so I didn't upload what I recorded, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to sleep on it. Okay, so I will be late getting a video out, but I'd rather get a proper sleep under my belt and think about it and then sort of, share my views than have one of those kind of reactive, angry type views. Anyways, so this morning I did two things. I looked at the video that I recorded yesterday, and I also looked back at the fight. And I thought, okay, I'm going to just redo, my thinking, or my video rather. My thinking actually hasn't changed. But I thought that this would be a more sort of reasoned, less emotional video. So there's way too much emotion sometimes in life in general, and boxing, of course. People get excited and angry sometimes. I mean, I've even had some people comment in a way that's quite impolite on some of my comments. Impoliteness I sort of am okay-ish with, but not really. Rudeness, just delete them, because if you're going to be rude, well, then you kind of lost the argument, right? Anyhow, Gervonta Tank Davis, clearly the A-side fighter in the, this WBO World Lightweight title fight. A very famous fighter, one of the top fighters in the world, was fighting against Lamont Roach, who was a massive underdog here in Canada. The odds were almost prohibitively favoring Tank Davis. I will disclose that I bet on Tank Davis. I thought that Tank Davis was going to win. I've had every expectation that Tank Davis would win, and so I did my pensioner's bet. I don't bet a lot of money, and I was cheering on Tank Davis, thinking it was going to be, if not easy, I didn't think it was going to be easy, but I fully expected Tank Davis to win. Well, I was super impressed by both fighters at the first half of the fight. In fact, the first half of the fight, I thought Tank Davis did the slightly better work, and I've got my notes, here in front of me, and I just score them round by round, right? And I had Tank Davis 4-2 up at the halfway mark of the fight. But I mean, you could have called it 3-3, to be honest with you. I was impressed with both fighters. I wasn't quite as impressed by Tank as I felt I should have been, if that makes sense. Because my expectations for Tank were really rather high. And yeah, in the first half of the fight, I thought he did the better work. But I was like, ooh, this is going to be a tougher row to hoe than I was anticipating. I still thought my $5 was really, secure. But the second half of the fight, I actually have it all Lamont Roach. I thought Roach was also very mature. He struck me as a kind of guy I would not want to play cards with. Because even when I thought he was hurt, stone faced, like he's not showing and he's not giving anything. He's very mature, very composed. That's the word, I couldn't think of it. Brain. He seemed, to be honest, like the the old master, the champion, the A-side fighter who's got this all under control, not the massive underdog B-side fighter. I thought actually he was going to drop Tank Davis in the 8th round. Tank went back and, but for having, really strong quads, I think he might have gone on his butt. But he didn't. But it was, and I'm beginning to think, ooh, this is now getting really, really, really close, right? Because, okay, I've got Tank for, 4-2 in the first half of the fight, but then 7 and 8, Roach, and I'm thinking, no, this is an even fight, and I'm beginning to now sort of, the guy who always wants to support the underdog is beginning to sort of cheer a little bit, right? And then we get to the 9th round, and Tank appears to take a knee. The commentators are saying he's taken a knee, and but I thought he took a knee, and I thought the ref was going to start counting as a knockdown. But then Tank goes to his corner, puts his head through the ropes, and is getting some assistance. I believe he was getting his face wiped down. And I'm thinking, well, what's happened here? Like, the ref is not counting. Is this not a knockdown? Now, I did not see, and I've watched it back a few times, I did not see Tank's paws, his hands, I did not see them touch the canvas. So maybe the ref's thinking, well, he just sort of bent down and his hands didn't touch the canvas. But then he walks off to his corner to get assistance. So I'm thinking, well, now this has to be a knockdown. Like, you're not allowed to go to the corner in the middle of a round and ask for anything. Like, the ref didn't say, go over there. So why wasn't it a 10-8 round? Why did the ref sort of apparently change his mind? Did the ref say to himself, oh, I've made a mistake. Oh, it's okay, yeah, go over to the corner and get some help. But, Steve Willis is an experienced referee. It was like he was caught up in the moment, or did he realize, that's Gervonta Davis. He can do what he wants to do. I don't know. I'm not inside the guy's head, but it's weird. I can't really reconcile it. Tank came back and actually fought very well in that round, but to my mind, it doesn't matter. It's a 10-8 round. Again, speaking of maturity, Roach didn't let it get to him. He didn't sort of, start losing, shape or getting sort of down on himself or becoming wild or anything. Like, he showed a lot of maturity, a lot of professionalism. Okay, this has not gone my way. I'm just going to keep doing my job, keep doing my work. I'm a professional. Again, like, hats off to the man, right? In my book, he won. So I scored him round 9, and then I scored him round 10, 11, and 12. So I end up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I got it 8 rounds to 4. I mean, maybe I'm being too harsh. Maybe it could have been a 7-5. But then there's the 10-8. Now, the judges' scores were 1-1-4, 1-1-4, 1-1-5, 1-1-3 to Tank Davis. And I can't get to those numbers. I mean, especially with a 10-8. And even if I take the 10-8, even if I say, okay, well, I did not see what I saw. Let's pretend that Tank just sort of like bent down and got up and didn't go to his corner for assistance and sort of spun around. Let's just imagine that. Like, that's not what happened, but let's pretend that's what happened. Well, I'm sorry, I still got Roach winning, and it was, I don't know, it was just really confusing to me. And then the third judge had it 1-1-4, 1-1-4, right? So it's a majority draw. Tank keeps his belt. His record is now 30-0-1, and Roach is now 25-1-2. But morally, this has got to be a loss for Tank. you know, I think that most people who watch this fight will say, buddy, you didn't win that fight. You got gifted a draw. I don't know. I don't know what to say. It was a strange day for reffing yesterday. I thought this was even stranger than the Crocker-Donovan issue. The Crocker-Donovan issue, you already know my view on it. You know, there are people out there who will strongly disagree and say that Donovan was cheating and he got all he deserved. I see where you're coming from. I don't see it that way myself. I thought the referee was too harsh, but I understand that strictly speaking, you know, of course, a blow was clearly thrown after the bell. I do believe there's a thing called auditory exclusion under highly stressful situations. I don't believe either fighter actually heard the bell, and I think the referee should have stopped the fight after the first knockdown, to be honest. And the referee, who was out of position when the bell went, had he been in position, he should have leapt in to separate the fighters. That's my view, my observation. Your mileage may vary, and some of you strongly disagree with that, and that's fine. I mean, people can look at the same set of circumstances and draw different conclusions. But in this fight, I mean, it's really hard to understand why it wasn't a 10-8 in the 9th round. Now, I understand that the gloves I couldn't see them touch the canvas. Of course, the angle is, you know, I'm watching on TV. Maybe they did, maybe they didn't. I couldn't see it. But I saw, with my own eyes, him go to the corner and put his head through. Well, that's not allowed, right? I mean, if that's allowed, well, when you're having a bit of a problem, just nip off to your corner, you know. Like, no, so it should have been a 10-8 round. And if it's a 10-8 round, then Lamont Roach is the winner. I have him winning without the 10-8 round, to be honest, but that's just, you know, my view, right? Anyways, please let me know what you think in the comment section below. Let's have a discussion about this. Please like the video if you do like it. If you're new, please subscribe. It's great to see the subscriptions going up. And if you're already a subscriber and you've got boxing friends who you think might like this channel, please encourage them to take a peek. It's free. Subscriptions are free. Likes are free. Everything's free. Anyways, have a fabulous day, and we'll see you on the next video. Cheers. Bye-bye now.